Hello everyone, my name is Yessenia Cieza and I am from Peru. I am an electronic engineer, MBA and Master in Biomedical Engineering. I am currently working as a specialist in medical devices for companies in the field, as a teacher assistant at the Pontificia Universidad Católica del Peru, and as a researcher at the Biomedical Engineering Laboratory. And today, I want to introduce you to MOSY, what it is, what is the objective of the project, and its end user, and the results we have obtained to date. Our team is formed by PhD Luis Huané, Senior Professor at PUC, and who is the main research advisor of the project, Julissa Venancio, who focuses on the clinical part of the medical equipment, and me, who focuses on the development of the equipment at the electronic and biomedical level. We all have a family member who suffers from something as common as asthma, pneumonia, or COPD, who most likely needs oxygen after an attack. This is the case for 300 million people in the world with respiratory diseases, who after a crisis arrive at hospitals, and oxygen therapy is always the first option for their treatment. We are not talking about mechanical ventilators and other alternatives that are used in terminal stages, but about a simple therapy that can save lives if applied in a timely manner. The data we mentioned is from before the pandemic. We can already imagine that it has skyrocketed in the last few months, leaving hospitals without capacity to care for patients. How is oxygen therapy is provided today? There are well-known modalities, but they all have one thing in common. They are manual. That is, doctors must repeatedly adjust the flow of oxygen to the patient. This has already saved many lives, but it has disadvantages. It requires constant contact by medical personnel, which is risky, and limits the capacity of care. And it does not involve continuous control of oxygen, presenting a lot of cases of intoxication and even death. These are the reasons why MOSY was developed. MOSY, or My Oxygen System, is a medical innovation device that automates oxygen therapy. MOSY monitors in real time the percentage of oxygen in the patient's blood and adjusts the amount flow to be supplied based on the parameters set by the doctor. It also has pulse and temperature sensors in order to provide intelligent alarms and enable remote monitoring. MOSY seeks to transform the manual way in which oxygen therapy is being performed by automating it, focusing on patients with chronic and acute respiratory diseases. With MOSY, patients will finally receive personalized therapy for their conditions while the doctor's work is reduced. This proposal seeks to ensure reliable, effective, and controlled oxygen treatment, avoiding constant contact of medical staff with patients, automatically adjusting the flow of oxygen needed, which will result in a higher capacity of care without risk of intoxication. In addition, the time of hospitalization will be reduced by 30%. In conclusion, more lives will be saved at less cost by providing timely treatment to patients and preventing the spread of disease to doctors. MOSY's latest prototype has been co-created with key players and is already medical grade with a patent pending. In addition, it has won important international awards as the best innovation in Latin America at the CLI 2019 Congress endorsed by the IFMB. So far, we have already completed the technical validations, and the clinical validations are being carried out this month until December. Our goal is to obtain the sanitary registration granted by the Ministry of Health in Peru. It is worth mentioning that medical equipment is not yet manufactured for sale in Peru, and this will be the first one. By 2022, we already have partners with Peruvian hospitals to start distributing them. For the moment, we will focus on Peru, but we have our sights set on reaching foreign countries. To develop MOSY, 4 prototypes have been created, and the last one has been validated by the Biomedical Devices Laboratory of the PUC, which during the pandemic has started to perform metrological verifications with Fluke equipment for medical devices. At this point, the test of physiological parameters and the operability of the equipment have already been completed. As for physiological parameters, we have saturation, heart rate, and body temperature. As we can see, for oxygen saturation, we obtain an error of 3%, comparing to the standards value of the standards equipment with the value given by MOSY. As for heart rate, the same, but here we have an error of 0%. For the temperature, the measurements were made in the same way and an error of 2% was obtained. And as for the flow, the error at the pressure of 50 psi and at normal conditions with temperature and humidity, an error of 1% was obtained. These errors are within the range established by the ICEHTMC Institute recommendations, which is 3%. It is concluded that MOSY satisfies the parameters mentioned above. And now we are working to develop the clinical validation related international standards to develop a reliable and safe medical equipment. Thank you very much for your attention.